Hello everyone, welcome back to Hearthstone and good morning of course. Let's play some Tempo Mage today, because I've been looking at the decks I've played this month and made a video of course. And surprisingly this one is not amongst them, even though it's still quite a viable deck. Some interesting notes to make. I do not currently own any cult sorcerers, and I don't want to craft them before I craft my next legendary, so that might still be a while. And this is definitely keepable, I think. So I've replaced one of them with a Blood Mage Thelnos, one of them with a Fallen Hero, which doesn't seem like it fits the deck, but might serve a similar purpose. The Crazed Alchemist is kind of a deck tech thingy against mostly Doomsayer, but might work against Flametongue Totem or anything similar, so that could be exciting. And do we coin out a Flamewaker here? That might be a little optimistic. Might just run into Shadow Ball too. I don't hate just pinging here. Looks like we're up against a Reno Mage, which I haven't seen in a while. That could be exciting. Ooh, might be a little worrisome in the sense that we might be facing either a Mountain Giant or a Twilight Drake pretty soon. So better prepare for that and get some defense going, I think. Might just play. If he Shadow Bolts next turn, then I think I'm fine with that. Let's just throw the Flamemaker out there. And if he slows down enough for that to have any effect, then I think I'm okay with it. And we can probably kill that by flipping it, which I don't hate. Probably better than letting it die to the Flamemaker, so I like that. And we can still coin if this misses, so that's absolutely fine. Can't use it against a Doomsayer anymore, but we do have a Polymorph, we do have a couple of Arcane Missiles, which is not horrible, so definitely should be able to take that out. And that's entirely okay. I think I'm pretty happy with... I'm not pretty happy with how this is going. But we can throw out a lot of missiles, which is really bad against the Ink Game boss. I like this approach from our opponent here. That makes it mightily awkward for us, and we might even have to polymorph that, which I absolutely hate.
What to do?
I don't like that at all. Let me think. I may actually have to polymorph that. Or I could just let things die, but that's not very pretty. We could hope for the missiles to hit the Doomsayer 3 times. I could give that a try. That means I'm probably extending here. Let's hope this works. Okay. We're going too slow. We're going too slow. Okay, it's dead. It's dead. That's good. That's also dead. That is also dead. That is also dead. Okay, that's good. Wow. At least we can try. That's really good. Okay, there was one imp that I couldn't hit, but this seems pretty good. That's a pretty good result, I'd say. Okay, I was panicking there a little bit, but that's pretty sweet, actually. Yeah, okay, so that turned out to be okay. I was kind of underestimating the amount of missiles that came out there. That was amusing. Do I polymorph that? That's another great question here. I think I do. It's just too efficient to leave it. We can't really do anything if we do not polymorph that, so I think I'm okay with that. And let's see how the missiles fare. The missiles fare pretty well. I wasn't willing to play a Mana Worm in advance, but it seemed my fear was ungrounded. That is disgusting, by the way. He has to heal up here, which is very efficient. I'll be the first to admit. But we seem to be in a nice enough position. Kinda don't want to overcommit to a possible twisting nether, though. That could be really unfortunate if that happened. Let's see. We don't have any spells, and neither do we have any card draw, which is a little awkward, I'll admit. Oh, I almost misclicked it onto the Reno there, so that's definitely something we want to avoid. He could run the Reno. He could run the Reno into the water elemental, and then don't like that too much. And we've already used our polymorph, so we basically went all in there on him not having. What am I trying to say? Reno Jackson, of course. Are we leaving that alone? I think we may have to, because we don't have a proper answer against that. I don't like that, but it is the way it's gonna be, I think. That's just the way it is. I'm afraid. Are we committing this? We are absolutely losing to Hellfire if that happens. I don't like losing the game to Hellfire. How about we compromise? No, he doesn't seem to have any... really don't like this. If he Hellfires, then can I kill it? I can if I just ping it now, and then I think things will be fine. I just need a fireball to be able to kill that, and that'll be okay. If I draw some cheap stuff with the Antonidas, then we can certainly deal with that. Mortal Coils that. Okay, that is fine with me. Heals up. Oh, Faceless. Oh, that's dirty. Okay, I think we lost this one, but we had a decent chance if he didn't have a Reno, so I don't feel we wasted an opportunity there. Alright, yeah, that's ugly. We basically need to flood the board here or hope we get something really good. Because this is not going to... well, that's not what we needed. That is definitely not what we needed. I think we're dead here. Pretty sure about that. We can't even squeeze in a hero power if we do this. So, yeah. Not holding out. Not holding out over here. You can probably kill one of these. And that means one hits this, one hits face. Not good, not good. Oh, well, he heals us, so that's good. Do we have any board players? We have a Flame Strike, which might help next turn. Please don't hit my face. Actually, please hit the... yeah, it might do a thing. If we got a Flame Strike there, that would have been pretty sweet. I'll admit, a Flame Strike would have been pretty sweet there. As it stands, I don't think we have a chance.
Well played.
Nope, no we don't. We blew our ward early and we got punished. That's just the risk you're gonna take. If he didn't have any proper healing, that would have been pretty much game. So that's just the risk you're taking when you're playing Tempo Mage. You you have a big load, and when that's not good enough to finish your opponent off, then that's a shame. And you move on to the next game. Would Cold Sorcerer be good there? Maybe, maybe. Although yeah, it would have been better than Fallen Hero, probably with the Arcane Missiles, but we blew them early. I don't think it would have mattered too much. It's just a 3-2, and that's the same thing. Against a Warlock, I think we keep the Arcane Missiles again. And that's not a bad start. Might even call it good. On turn 4, playing Fallen Hero and Hero Powering is not embarrassing. It's like you're playing Disciple of Cthulhu on turn 4, which is pretty good. And you get a free banana on top of it. So yeah, that's probably okay.
Hello.
Let's see what our opponent's up to here. If he plays a Void Walker, I'm pretty sure we Arcane Missiles then, right? No, we just Fallen Hero, I guess. Yeah. is the better option. If our opponent's Renolock, then this is still not awful, so sure. Tempo Mage does mean that you win the game by overwhelming your opponent, and you're not going to do that by playing conservatively. Seems we're up against another Renolock even. That seems interesting. Can we take it slow, or do we play the Blood Mage and just go ham with the missiles? Don't like that too much. Let's just take it a little slow. Perhaps this dies to Hellfire, but at least we've done 9 damage, and that's okay. Well, we've done 7 damage. He dealt 2 to himself. But I wouldn't want to lose a Thalnos to a Hellfire here, I think. Thalnos is still valuable in combination with Fireball to deal with large things. Or in combination with Frostbolt, with Flame Strike. That's not irrelevant. And is that a Hellfire? That's not a Hellfire. Okay. We don't have an Alchemist to easily deal with this, but we do have a Polymorph, which may seem a little optimistic, I feel. I don't think that's the call here. We might just Water Elemental and see what happens, or we could just push the tempo with the Polymorph. Not sure I like that too much, but at least we can kill it. Then it dies to Demon Wrath, but that's okay if he Demon Wraths next turn, right? Yeah. I kinda don't want a Polymorph here, but it seems like the best play. Sometimes you just gotta be a bit greedy. Polymorph is also not a guaranteed inclusion in the Tempo Mage deck, actually. Most of them don't run them. I don't have a second Arcane Blast, and I'm not willing to craft that one. So you could say it replaces that, but it's also a decent answer in cases like these to a Twilight Drake, so maybe I shouldn't be too careful with it. It's done its job now, and we may be in trouble if our opponent plays a Mountain Giant or something, but we have Fireballs for that. Could be a Mountain Giant coming out here, or just Shadow Bolt that. I think I'm okay with that. 2-drop coming out, that's probably okay. Let's see if we get something decent from this Spellslinger here.
Dead or alive?
Our opponent might also get something decent from that, of course. That's always a consideration. I think we're going for the Sorcerer's Apprentice, then discover a card, but first let's see if the missiles hit. That would be really sweet. They do. That's nice. We're saving the second missiles then. And let's discover a spell, which is usually better for us. If we get, for example, a... is that good? We could catch a Siphon Soul with this, or a Mortal Coil, that's good. Vaporize, I don't worry too much about Vaporize, and I don't think Ice Block is the call. We're not going to live long enough to make use of Ice Block, I think. Definitely an interesting choice there, though. Might also catch the spell our opponent got with Spellbender with that our opponent got with Spellslinger with our Spellbender. Yes, names are confusing sometimes. So next turn, probably Water Elemental, depending on how the missiles land, of course. Do we play Thalnos? I don't know. I'm pretty sure we play missiles, though it might be tempting to not do so. But I feel that would be really greedy. We probably need to trade in... Probably need to trade in the Sorcerer's Apprentice here. I think I would rather trade in this one. Do we spell power up first? I don't think so. We only want to play our Antonidas with Spellbender up, I feel, so let's develop that this turn. So let's see if this works out. On average it should, but we still have the hero power available if it fails. So we can do that. We can develop the Spellbender and trade the Spell Slinger, I feel. We can't leave that unchecked, I feel. Even though he might be reluctant to attack our face, that probably means he doesn't attack at all. Would that be the correct play? Yeah, if he wants to preserve his Thaurissan, then I think the correct goal would be to not attack there. Let's hope to get a decent spell here. Yeah, I'm kind of expecting him to heal there, and then what happens? He just develops a board, okay. That is also a pretty decent card, but we may want to check whether we can draw a card here and perhaps get rid of the Bran. I'm actually kind of worried about that. But in most cases I think we Renolocks here. Let's check this. That's not very helpful right now. Do we run the Sorcerer's Apprentice into the Bran? I'm not sure about that. With this Spellbender up, I feel a little safer playing as Renolocks here. So I like that. And then we do trade into the Bran to prevent more healing, more Argus coming up. Yes, I do think that's the right call. Not the target we were hoping to hit, but I'll take it. I'll take it. If he plays a Power Overwhelming, can that target our Spellbender? I don't know. Oh, that's not a bad card to discover, by the way. To get from the Spell Slinger. Could be a pretty good minion here, even. Might be a little worried about that, even. Let's think about what we do next turn. We want to get some fireballs with the Antonidas, so we want to stock up on small stuff. We're not really drawing that many cards, though. That's slightly annoying. Could do with an Ethereal Conjurer or an Arcane Intellect. I don't think we've used an Arcane Intellect yet. So there's some card draw left in our deck. I think that means he has Reno, doesn't it? Yeah, so I'm glad I killed the Bran there, because that could have ended a lot worse. Oh, and there's an Intellect, so that's good. We can't use it with Antonidas right now, but that's okay. Do we use a Frostbolt here? Well, we could, I suppose. We could Flamewaker Frostbolt, but that's not that much better than just pinging, right? How about we Water Elemental Frostbolt? I actually don't want to use the Frostbolt right now. So let's just do it this way. Ping this so we can kill it next turn. And I think that's okay. And that is also a good target. I don't hate that. Don't hate that at all. Yeah, I think we need to save the Frostbolt for the Antonidas to basically kill our opponent in one shot. Actually, that might be hard if he plays Reno, but he may feel pressured enough to play the Reno right now, which makes his turn rather awkward, I feel. We could trade everything into the Renolocks, but then we still have a Water Elemental, and then he has a Reno. That would be a decent play, I feel. That would not be awful. And it's probably the play he's going to make if he has a Reno in hand, I feel. He's gotta be really scared about the secret here. He's used a spell. He's played a minion. I'm not sure whether he knows what this secret is, but he might be really scared to use a Siphon Soul, or he might have no clue and think we have Ice Mock here, which would be really sweet. What's he going to do? Twisting Nether. Okay, I think I'm okay with that, actually. Because that sets up for a pretty nice Antonidas, which forces... I'm pretty sure that's correct. Yes, it's protected by Spellbender too. So he pretty much has to Reno right now. And if he Renos, then we get a turn of 3 fireballs, basically. So we get 2 free fireballs, and it might be enough to finish him off, even. I think that's pretty good. And if he siphons souls here, then he's pretty much screwed. I'll say he's pretty much screwed if he siphons souls here. Let's see. Okay, he has Reno, I think. Or he's fishing for Reno, because he doesn't have any healing. That's also possible. Alright.
Well played.
Yeah, the game's a lot easier when they don't draw Reno. That's... Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? I can already see the meta changing from this afternoon, actually. I was playing the really strange hunter list from last episode. And, well, the meta was completely different from last night, and now we're just facing Warlock after Warlock after Warlock. That's also interesting, I'll admit, but not exactly what we're looking for. I think I'll keep these two, and then look for a couple spells. Alright, that's entirely acceptable. I like that.
Hello.
I would go as far as to say I like this. Alright, let's start out with the mana worm as usual. And see what we're up against. We have to coin ourselves, so let's keep that in mind. I'm not sure whether this fire even lasts, but sure, it's an indication. Maybe this one. It's a habit I am trying to get myself into, but doesn't quite stick. Just some kind of visual reminder when you ask yourself the question whether your opponent has already used the coin or not, because that's a question that comes up a lot. Do we coin? We could coin into Arcane Intellect, I suppose. We could coin Sorcerer's Apprentice into Frostbolt, which is not terrible. We could also not coin and then hope he doesn't have a great way to trade. I'm not sure I like that. He could be Zoo. So let's actually coin into Intellect, and then we can probably do something next turn. I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, nothing to do, but we do have a new mana worm, so if he Mortal Coils this, then that's fine with me. Seems like he has one. And seems we're up against another Renolock. So, yeah, the meta's really odd today, to say the least. I'm going to call it odd. That's fine. And that's an acceptable board. We would like a spell or two, of course. Would this be enough to... Oh! Oh, okay, that's created by the Peddler. Okay, so we're still up against... what am I trying to say? Renolock. But that's fine. We've got a board here, and... well, our start isn't as spectacular as it was last game. Might even be the same person. I am not one to check names, and I can't see it in the video, because I cover those up on purpose. Well, I mostly cover up the occasional chat that pops up. Because plenty of my friends are in there with their real names, and I'm not sure they appreciate being broadcasted over the entire internet, so they don't want to do that without their permission. So in case you were wondering why I'm covering up all that stuff, that's the main reason. And also because it's a pretty way of displaying the deck list. That's also... I like the mirror image here. I also like the mirror image with the Flame Waker, but that's not gonna happen, I'm afraid. So we'll have to do it this way. There we go. And let's see what his answer... Oh my gosh. That could have been really bad. I'm not used to playing against Renolocks. It's odd, because they have all these little tech cards. That makes things rather awkward at times. What I do like is this. I like that a lot. Yeah, I do. Do I give up some damage to kill this imp here? I'm not sure I care, to be honest. Let's just go face. We do need to deal with him at some point. He could Argus it up and then smash into the Sorcerer's Apprentice. I guess I'm okay with that. Not enamored, but sure. It's just something that needs to be done. That is entirely fine. That is entirely fine with me, because now I can Flamewaker and Frostbolt, I guess? Flamewaker, Frostbolt. Can I kill him? I've got 7, I've got 6 in hand. Oh wait, he's dead. Whoops. Alright, well, that was easy. And that's how Tempo Mage works. Sometimes you just pull wins out of nowhere. So yeah, deck still works. And it's got a lot of free space to include some of your favorite cards, and that's always a feature I like about decks. You can insert some personal flavor into the list. Some of your pet cards, some of your just like Tempo Mage before Whispers of the Old Gods hit. There was some people running Toshli, or Spellslinger was kind of a pet card of some people. So that's pretty cute. Druids don't run anything I would like to flip, I think. So I'll keep the Spellslinger just to have something to do. And hope to get some early interaction, which we don't get. But Azure Drake plus Arcane Blast is actually pretty good, so don't mind that too much. Cold Sorcerer also makes double Arcane Blast much more effective, actually. So if I'm only running one Arcane Blast, perhaps I don't even want to run double Cold Sorcerer. That could be true. Sometimes the turn button is hard to find, guys. Don't judge me. Coin is mine, so should definitely make an indication here, and I'm okay with doing this. If he wants to Wrath this, then I'm fine with that, and otherwise I've got a pretty nice next turn, I think. Actually, not that amazing, but I can Flamewaker and I can Arcane Blast, and that's pretty sweet. I like that. Is that an Innervate? I think that's an Innervate. It is not. I'm such a liar. But that's okay. We could Spellslinger here, that might be a little optimistic. What I don't hate is using Arcane Blast here, and if we fail, then we can still coin for a rematch. That won't be needed though. And he's incentivized to swipe and hero power here, which is okay with me, thank you antivirus. I don't need any upgrades to my internet security, I think. Alright, swipe and hero power, that's okay, because we get to play an Azure Drake first. And we've got the Flame Strike available, which is good. I like that. Although that's kind of a thing that's not that relevant yet. So we could go for the Spellslinger, but I feel like coining out the Azure Drake is going to be more relevant. Okay, missiles for 4 is not terrible either. So let's see what we're up against, because we haven't really seen that much except for some generic ramp pieces. He's going into 7 mana though, so that's a little concerning, I'll admit. 7 mana means something like Ancient of War could come out. I'll polymorph that happily. Nourish, oh my. That's greedy, sir, but I applaud you. And now innervate into 4-drop. Are there any good 4-drops? There's Fandral, I guess. I will happily kill a Fandral if he drops it here. But I guess that's not really an option. We'll go with the second Azure Drake then. And that is not an awful draw. We can play the slow game with this hand. That's actually nice. Got the polymorph for his next big drop, and then probably just ping it off actually. 8 mana? Oh, actually an Azure Drake of his own. That's okay, I guess. I was kind of hoping for something bigger. Oh, another Wrath? Oh, Raven Idol. That's okay. You can do a Raven Idol. That's fine with me. I don't want to. I can't even flame strike this, so that's not a consideration. I may just have to Ethereal Conjurer then. Oh, and Mirror Image is not awful. I actually like that plan better than any other. Definitely.
You want it?
Okay, let's see what we get.
Got it.
I would like a Fireball, I think, although Polymorph Boar is definitely an option. We do have another Polymorph already, so I think Fireball is the more flexible option here. And let's go with the Mirror Image to start the aggression. He's already used the Wrath last turn, so I don't know whether he's got another one for this Conjurer here. And if he plays a Taunt... Well, he's not dead yet, but he's getting pretty close. Actually, with the spell power, we've got 17 damage. We just can't cast it all. Oh, if my Polymorph was a Fireball, then I could have picked the Polymorph Boar, and then if he just dropped a big Taunt, then he would have been dead next turn. Is that another Wrath, then? Or a Living Root? Oh, that's actually pretty good. That is actually pretty good, with the additional spell power. Didn't think of that, to be honest. Why did I not think of that? That's a little awkward. I could flip it. Flipping doesn't seem too worthwhile, I guess. We could Spell Slinger, but that could end up really badly if we don't get some spell... no, that's not really an option. We basically have to polymorph this thing. And then we could consider doing the Spell Slinger, actually, because we don't really have to kill the 1/1, I think. Other options include Fireball Ping, that seems really weak. Let's just go with this and see what we get. That's not a card you're looking for against a Druid, I think. No, definitely not. Now this is even castable if it kills nothing, that's interesting. Let's polymorph that one. Card is actually doing some work. I'm not sure if it warrants its inclusion, but it seems pretty good right now. That card is a problem, though. That is most definitely a problem, and that is a card I did not expect, but sure. It's actually pretty good with Tendril, I suppose, and including one of them in a Ramp Druid deck is not awful. But we're in a bit of a pickle right now. Actually, we can flip it and then Fireball it. That's not horrendous. Although, I'm not too happy about the situation, as you can probably imagine. Can we just burn him out? I don't think we can burn him out now. Perhaps Ragnaros can do some work. Uproot! There we go. If you don't uproot, I'll uproot it for you, friend. Alright. So, that Azure Drake has been on the board for way too long. I don't like it. But, yeah, if I fireballed it early, then I wouldn't have to fireball for the Ancients. So I guess that's something. We could missile that next turn if he plays nothing of consequence. I'm thinking if the Shadow Word Horror is going to do any good against him, but I think the answer is no. Do we... oh, we definitely do not missiles here. We could missiles after the Flame Strike. That seems awkward though. But Flame Strike seems like it's... seems like it has to be played right here. Because we're dead to swipe right now. I don't like being dead to swipe. We could also Ragnaros and hope it hits one of the minions, and then we might be in a decent spot for next turn. How's that? Is that greedy? That is greedy, but we can also take a 50-50 on killing everything after. I think we have to be optimistic here. I think it'll hit one of these. That's also a 50-50, and the end result is much better. I like that. Yes. Yes, we might still be dead to Savage Roar. Are we dead to Savage Roar? No, not entirely. He has 7 damage, Savage Roar equals 6. I'm not sure you would include Savage Roar and Ancient of War in the same kind of deck. Could be wrong. I've been wrong before. That's a decent Flame Strike if I've seen one. I can even Arcane Missiles to sweeten the deal. I like that. A little worried about his last card, but I don't think he's going to trade in here. So that means Ragnaros lives. And I think we have a very decent chance of finishing off his board here, but we could be dead next turn still. We'll have to see though. I am pretty happy about this Flame Strike opportunity, so that's definitely gonna happen. And then missiles and hope to get 2 hits on the minions. That is not 2 hits on the minions, that's really awkward actually. We have to ping this, because if Ragnaros hits face, we want to be able to kill it next turn. That's a really bad Arcane Missiles, though. Was hoping for something a bit better, but at least Ragnaros finished the job, so I can't complain too much. And that's a card. That is certainly a card. But this Shadow Word Horror is looking is looking pretty good, actually. That's pretty funny. So yeah, that's going to be cast at the very least. Does Scenarios kill us? Not entirely. But just playing the Water Elemental in the Shadow Word Horror feels weak, so I think we can do better than that. Do we Frostbolt the Scenarios, actually? Not sure about that. Seems appealing. Seems appealing. Can we kill it next turn then? No, but we can Antonidas. That's also not that great. We could Arcane Intellect again and just hope to hit the 50-50 and to not die next turn. Not sure I like that, but that does allow us to Antonidas and then Frostbolt for possibly the kill. I don't know about this. Let's just freeze the scenarios here and not take the 50-50. Okay, it died anyway. We wasted a Frostbolt, but at least we live, and I like living. I like being alive. That's a good thing. That's a Wrath, and then possibly a Swipe, or just a Wrath for a card. It's a Wrath for a card, so that means he doesn't have a great answer. That always makes me happy. And then we can double Water Elemental, or we can attempt to draw a card and hope to live through next turn. I'm not sure. I don't think he has any decent burst in his hand. What is he trying? What is that card? Is that a Wild Growth? I don't know. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Okay, I can see what you're doing. That is not a bad draw, actually. That means we can finish off the 2-2, so that's definitely a thing that happens. And then do we Arcane Missile, Arcane Intellect, and hope to draw something with 3 mana? Or do we keep it for the Archmage and just play a Water Elemental? I think I like playing the Water Elemental for just some extra oomph on the board. Yeah, I think I prefer the extra board presence over the possibility of finding something decent from the missiles, from the intellect. There we go. Let's see if Ragnaros keeps doing what it has been doing. If the fallen hero survives, then we can go for a Ragnaros hit. Oh, that's a fireball! Wow, that is a fireball. Well, yeah, sometimes you die. That's It's just what happens. I'm really surprised he hasn't used it on the... he could have Wrath and Firebolt Ragnaros. Oh my, that's a risk. That is a real risk you took there, friend. Wow. Well, can't blame him, but... In each case, that's it for Temple Mage so far. Not the record we've been hoping for, but it seems to be decent in his meta, and it's always a lot of surprises whenever you play Temple Mage. So that's always good. Hope you'll have fun with your own Temple Mage deck. If you have any suggestions on what deck to play next, or just next month, what deck you would like to see again, for example, please leave a comment below. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.